6:55 a.m. was the time I woke up, and I got 7 hours and 4 minutes of sleep last night. And this is my secret: mouth taping. Nope, Jack did not bind and gag me. This I did by myself. Excellent sleep when you mouth tape. You gotta try it. Get the right tools though. This is my do's and don'ts of a great cup of coffee, carnivore style. Got the pod already in the machine, set to 12 ounces. I'm going to be putting in 1 tablespoon of the grass-fed butter, the Kirkland butter that I picked up from Costco, that you guys saw on the last grocery haul. No more sweet tastes. Bye-bye, perfect keto collagens. I got to stick with the non-sweet tastes. The one I picked up is the Vital Proteins on Sunday. And listen, this packaging. Do you guys hate this packaging like I do? Yeah, it's bad. So I add a rounded scoopful because they're cutting down like everybody's cutting back. Do they cut back on costs? Do they cut back on product? They're cutting back on the plastic aspect. So I have my own spoon scooper from a previous, probably a perfect keto scoop, no doubt. I put that in there. And now what I'm bringing back into my life, more collagen I need. This beef gelatin grass-fed that I got from Amazon, this is what I had left from last year. It's still good. It's that I put it into a lock and lock because it was the end. And I'm going to be putting in 3 tablespoons into my coffee. So let me get her done and show you what it looks like after. And then we give it a whir on the Ninja. Stir and whir. Zippity doo dah. And this is what she looks like, all whipped up. Bubbly, collagen-y, and fatty. Cheers. Good morning. It is -9 degrees in northwestern Wisconsin, and I am back doing the sunrise, taking it in my eyes, waking up, kind of half naked, if you really must know the truth. I am out here in a thermal shirt with shorts and slippers. But I want to take advantage of the sunrise. Yes. Getting it in the eyeballs. The cold. It's cold. But it's good for my system. Think of it as an ice bath. Yeah, that's it. It's an ice bath. And I'm in an ice bath quickly for a minute. Well, that is as long as I plan on being out here. Brr. Well, shock to the heart, and I'm to blame. Let me expound. I found out yesterday that you will be demonetized if you film in your car YouTube videos. Facts. Look it up. Google it. AI it. Check it out. Did you read your YouTube agreement? Really read it? Because many of you, like me, do videos in your car. And they will whack you on the hand and hit you in the purse. Well, if you're a girl, that is. Hit you in the wallet if you're a dude. Yes, indeed. So Jerry is no longer doing any car videos unless I am parked. I have to be sitting in my car parked and not being distracted. Now, I know that many of you guys know my little trick. I used to wear my glasses because I'd watch the road and I wouldn't watch the lens like I'm watching right now. So that was my, for lack of a better term, distraction. But you were my passenger. So as I was driving, like I would my husband sitting next to me as a passenger, I was just talking and the camera was rolling. They'll get you for it, and you will not make any money on the YouTube. Just saying. Topic number 2 for this morning. I told you guys that I made the slushie, making frozen one flavor, freezing it, and the other flavor, carbonating it with the soda stream, blending it together in the blender, and it was delicious. It made a quart, so it was super salty, but I like it that way. So that was my first experience with sweet taste in the tongue that I had made. Now, please don't misconstrue what I have to say. For me, right now, as I'm going through this, obviously, carnivore month, the month of January, I really need to not have sweet tastes in the mouth. That does not disparage the company Keto Chow. It just lets me know that I need to stay focused, stay on track. No sweet taste. Cephalic phase, they call it. This morning I woke up to a video and it kind of reminded me of what had happened. Shoot, was it 32, 33, 34 years ago? When my mother had died. And go back the calendar to 11 years before then, when she was diagnosed with her cancer. And we were devastated. I and my sisters were still smoking. We were still drinking. I mean, we weren't alcoholics drinking. I mean, we'd have the occasional drink, etc. But at the end of my mother's life, I was drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes. That's it. That's all. There was no Coke, there was no Pepsi, nothing else. So when I look back at those funeral pictures, and I was quite gaunt. Don't remember what weight I was, but in comparison, when I see myself standing there, it reminded me that the pain of cancer is real, and not only for the patient, it's for the family as well. And the pain is real, and the pain is deep. So this young lady that was speaking on today's video, she was just told that her mother had gotten the diagnosis. And hang on one second, I'll be back in a sec. Sorry about that. I had my camera propped onto the laptop and it was acting wonky, so I apologize. So she was given the diagnosis, her mother was given the diagnosis, and I guess, like my mother, it's quite grim. So she is faced with the reality of what I experienced years ago. So if I was to give the Jerry advice going back years when I was first told that my mother had cancer initially, first off, I would have thrown out everything sugar in my house. Sugar feeds cancer. And the sooner that I would have learned that, I believe, the better it would have been. So there is sugar in everything. And like I announced last week, and people don't realize, I learned this from Dr. Berry. There is sugar in beef. Natural sugar, of course. But when I personally enter sweet tastes in my mouth is when I feel hungry and I want to eat more. So when I showed you how I mix my coffee this morning, that's the way it has to be. I can't have, I made a concerted effort during the month of Carnivore Month, January, to stick to as close to carnivore animal products as I possibly can. I did purchase some a delivery just came, so I turned the camera off because Ladybug was barking. And that's rude to have the dog barking during a video, especially if you have earbuds. So I try to be cognizant for people that follow me. So you're welcome. I try not to have dairy products this month. I did buy the cottage cheese. I was at Costco and I purchased it for a wrap, but I also want to do a little experimentation with protein with Jack to get more protein in him. And if I have to do it with cottage cheese in things and mix it and mask the flour that would have been in there with cottage cheese, I gotta do it. He needs the protein. He's in the healing stage. When I had my back surgery, 150 to 200 grams of protein. Beef is best. It's best to have animals that have a couple of chambers in their stomach, hence chewing on the cud, as opposed to not. For the carnivore diet, it's beneficial insofar as vitamins and minerals are concerned. And as far as satiation is concerned, wow, when I have beef, I get fuller faster. Maybe it's because it's fatty. Fatty, fuller, faster feeling is phenomenal. As you obviously know, I am not a savvy YouTuber that's seasoned and very polished with the camera. I am a real person, and I think that's why I have a lot of the following that I do, because they want to see real people. Will my videoing be better? Will my habits be better? I hope to. I have to learn to do things horizontally and not with the camera at a vertical, unless I was doing shorts. I think you have to do vertical for shorts, but understand that if you do the vertical for shorts, they have to be a maximum of 3 minutes, and you guys know I talk too long. So there it is. I have many friends here on this channel that follow me, the subscribers, whether they're brand new to low carb, they're keto, they're ketovore, they're carnivore, they're lion, and even the outside friends that aren't YouTube influencers that watch me, that are vegetarians. And I do have the family out there, hey, that still eats SAD, standard American diet. And what I want to do is to show people, family, subscribers, newbies, etc., that you can live, and you can live well, eating a carnivore diet. It's really not that hard. It's not that hard to eat keto. That's how I started. And if you're into vegetables, you have to understand that what you put on the vegetables have to be whole foods too. You have to put, for example, on your green beans, butter. Don't put margarine and melt that. And don't try to skimp and cut corners by buying margarine like I used to do in the stores because, well, it's like butter. Some people call it light butter. There's a guy that has lost a considerable amount of weight and he does videos. Comes out every Saturday. Young kid, I believe he's from India, but he's got a definite New York accent. And he will do very short little recipes like how to make a protein bar equivalent recipe into a pan, a 9 by 9 pan, as opposed to having one protein bar for 23 grams. He takes the 23 grams and puts it into a 9 by 9 pan. But he uses the imitation vanilla. Victor, I'm looking at you. Beaver butts. He also uses real sugar. He also uses flour. He also takes oats and he says he makes his own oat flour by flouring whole grain oats. I don't know about that, but he's got a huge following. And like all of you out there that are creators in this space, we all want a following. Typically, we follow people that we want to aspire to become or do, or in this case, for a way of eating. But I would not be comfortable, personally speaking, following an Italian restaurant recipe channel because I don't eat that way anymore. It could be a funny channel and I may follow for funniness, but I have to watch and be very careful what the eyes watch. I have to read, be very careful what my eyes read. What goes in comes out. What you listen to either sticks or goes out. Certain things should, in my opinion, should not be in a house if it's dark, if it's evil, if there are supernatural things about them that will work on your spirit. What you put in is what you get out. So if I was to tell that Jerry that 40 years ago my mom was diagnosed with cancer, I would have stopped smoking immediately. Immediately. Smoking obviously causes cancer. But now, Jack jokes about it, but it's serious as a heart attack. Sugar feeds cancer. So I don't want to be swayed by even the tastes of something sweet to may set me back. I told you guys I lost 163 pounds twice. And if I do it a third time, it's insanity. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting, what kind of results are you expecting if the scale keeps going up? Worry? Why worry? I know it's hard to, I know. Sitting here on my couch right now, I am not worried like many of you guys out there have worries. You worry about your finances, your kids, your spouse, life, the world, what's going on. That worry turns into cortisol, and you will not lose weight, or you will go off the rails and start eating tons of stuff, throwing it in your face, and the scale goes up and up and up. But that's not for me to preach to anybody. That's for me to remember, because the insanity of doing things over and over again and expecting results, my results are on the scale. That's why I weigh myself every day, to keep myself in check. This morning, for me, the scale read the same as it was yesterday, 227.6. So I'm still lost. I still lost a pound, but I didn't gain a pound. So when I first started out with the fast, it was, as I do every year, get rid of the old, out with the old, in with the new. Out with the old whatever in my system, in with the new healthy, thriving, better for me, healthier things to start the new year off right. It's not a resolution, it's not a promise. My getting on the scale on a daily basis is not an obsession. It's keeping me in track. I personally cannot be a volume eater anymore. I ate and I ate and I ate. When I was on the standard American diet, I went from McDonald's to KFC to Arthur Treacher's to Maria's Pizza in Milwaukee. The sun is starting to come in, so I have to wrap it up soon. That's insanity. Eating so much. Is your head hungry? What are you hungry for? What are you lacking that you're thinking, I have to keep eating? Is it really hunger? Take a moment. Think about that. Because I thought about that, and I had to nip it in the bud. I also thought that, like when I was a realtor and I did my schedule and I did my appointments and I did the journaling, paper to pen. Same with technology. I have to enter. I'm shifting myself to avoid the sun. I have to enter what I eat in a day on a log. If I don't, that half of a tablespoon of cream enters higher weight. Before long, my sweaters are going to be tighter. If I'm going to keep wearing baggy clothes, then it's not going to impact me then when I wear, say, my Spanx, or I'll put on the jeans to see. I don't wear jeans at work. Jeans are uncomfortable for me. If I have to sit in jeans all the time, I don't like it. But I have to be cognizant of how my clothes fit me, because if I keep wearing big bag, like this thing is, it's old. It's big and baggy, and it's warm, and it's toasty, and it's fine to go outside and watch the sunrise in, because it keeps me warm for a few moments. But if I was to live in clothes like this and mask, the weight keeps on creeping. There are carbs in eggs, by the way. Not a lot. I know it's mainly protein. I get it. But if I don't put the paper to pen and count every real whole carbohydrate, not net, I'm just messing with my head. I'm not a serious person to want to be on a health journey. And I can't get on YouTube and tell people that I came from here and how I want to go there. because YouTube is a journal. It's a video journal. It shows if you're a face person, like mostly I do my face. I don't do a lot of my body, and you don't see me on the walking pad because I don't set up the tripod and show you that. I don't. I sat in the car and I did videos. You only saw my head. But I can see my face. I can also see other creators' faces too. And I can see that, wow, so and so has really lost a lot of weight. Wow, isn't she good? She is practicing what she's preaching and she's living it. And it shows. So now that the sun is coming in my eyes, I'm going to go and make some breakfast. Then let you guys know what I am eating for breakfast. Stand by. Okay, I want to show you guys how I make Jack's protein waffle. Or as some people call it, chaffle. All you need when you're putting these in your chaffle maker is a rounded tablespoon of the mixture. That's it. Put it in there, close her up. Done. Now I realize that many people do not have 2 dash makers. Some people have the 4 version, 4 of these little guys all together. That would be fantastic, but I have just 2. You can put your meat in them to cook. No getting out another pan. And this is what they look like after the timer goes off when they're done cooking. Whoop. There you go. Okay, just another one of my opinions. I use butter on a silicone baster. I don't use the spray stuff. That's just me. I get in all the nooks and crannies with natural butter. Crack an egg. Boom. One-handed on a flat surface. Close it up. You don't need another pan. Wait for the light to go off. Again, this really does not take long. I butter with the same. You can put more butter on it if you want to. But I'm doing this on the camera, so I'm not trying to be all wild, childish. I butter it with the same silicone brush. Butter, butter. Eggs don't take that long. See? They're done. And I can even take it with my spatula. Look at that. Clean as a whistle. So clean. Put it onto, put it onto your truffle waffles. You don't need cheese. Well, I take that back. I don't need cheese. And there are the 4 slices of Canadian bacon. Top it off. There you have it. Breakfast sandwich. Now let's say that you're super hungry and you want to have 2 of these. Just double up what the macros are up here and enjoy. So that was the breakfast. Plain and simple. Real whole foods. I didn't have to leave my house. I didn't have to drive 10 miles to go into Bloomer to get a breakfast sandwich. I went in my refrigerator, pulled out a few ingredients, like you guys saw in the last frame, and that's it. How simple is this? And my carnivore diet isn't boring. Notice how I used very little cheese in that recipe? Yeah, it was delicious. So I'm going to close out my day because I can't drive and YouTube anymore. Naughty, naughty. Have a wonderful rest of your day. You're going to get this before 10 a.m. on Tuesday. That's a bonus. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Cheers.